Welcome back. We are here to talk AI wrapper, GPT wrapper ideas. Recently, we talked about this on the Starter Story podcast. You guys love that episode. So I'm back to share more ideas. I got 3 more ideas I want to share with you. I want to get you involved, and we're going to do it in a little bit of a game format. So I'm going to go through each idea. All these ideas are awesome, by the way. I'm going to show you the app and actually walk through the app a little bit. I'm going to explain what it does and how it works. I'm going to talk about the pricing model, and then we're going to do some calculations. We're going to look at how much traffic they're getting and stuff like that. And then I want you to guess how much money you think this business makes per month. Then I'm going to reveal how much it's making. The reason I think that could be kind of fun is will help us understand, hey, what's a really good business idea and what's a great business idea. One of the ideas I'm going to show you makes an insane amount of money, and it might not be the one that you'd expect. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is the GPT Wrapper Ideas database on Starter Story. There's tons of ideas in here, which you can get. I'll put a link in the description right now. You can get access to this for free. Let's jump into the first one. I'm just looking at all these ideas here. This is one that immediately stands out to me, and I think I've seen this one before, which is Sheets AI Resume. Let's go through this one first. This website here is an AI resume app. Kind of makes sense just off the jump. Sheetsresume.com. So let's go and actually click on sheetsresume.com and let's see what this does. You found it, an AI resume builder that actually works, and that'll give you your money back if you don't like it, no fuss. So I signed up for this here. I mean, this is pretty obvious what this does. It gives you a resume, and it does it with AI. Maybe before AI, there was consultants or resume helpers that would help you with your resume and improve it. Why do people want to improve their resumes? They want to get that interview, right? This is something that really has a big TAM. Everyone's looking for a job, but almost everyone goes through the process of needing to find a job, and everybody needs a resume who goes through that process. I'm sure you can relate. So I started this and created my resume. This is kind of cool, right? This is like a resume builder where I go through, here's my personal details, my work history, my education. I was able to plug in my LinkedIn into here, and it just pulled everything over. And what I think is cool about this is that, yeah, this is an AI wrapper, but it's a nice little interface. And what the AI does is, it helps me write these bullet points here about what I did for Starter Story. I'm the founder of Starter Story. It's got the everything in there, and that's cool. I didn't write those. The AI wrote those, and they'll probably do a better job than I would do, or at least it'll just make the process faster of writing this resume. So it kind of walks me through what a good resume is, but also it's using AI to generate this stuff. What's also cool about this is that the costs are probably really low for this type of business because it's generative text. We all know if you're doing anything with LLMs, you know that text is getting really, really cheap to generate. So I imagine that the costs are quite low for something like this. Let's talk about the type of customer that this serves. Obviously, this serves consumers. So, you hear B2B, B2C. This is more of a B2C type customer. This is someone who's looking for a job. I think maybe some of the pros and cons of that is there's going to be a lot of them. Maybe they're looking for a job. They're unemployed or something like that. So it will be a little bit harder to monetize that customer on a per customer basis. The other thing is that, hey, I'm looking for a job right now, but I'm probably not looking for a job 6 months from now. This would be not a recurring type of business. This is kind of it's not one time in your life. You're probably looking for a job once every few years. So that's an interesting thing too. And I think if we look at the pricing model, which we can go down here and click on pricing, how do they price this? It's not a subscription business. It's lifetime access, $99 one time. And I think that's a pretty good pricing model because I'm trying to get that interview. I'm applying to OpenAI right now. Mr. Sam Altman, please hire me. If I spend $99, then I'll get that interview. And that's probably worth it, right? I'm willing to pay $99 to have a much, much better resume. So I think that's interesting. And hopefully that's helping inform me, okay, how much money do we think this business actually makes? But let's go a little bit further to see how much traffic does this business get. So I'm going to pull up SimilarWeb here, and I've reached my weekly limit. So what I'll do is I'll go to SimilarWeb and I'll put in Sheets resume like that. It wants to see if I'm a human, and I can choose all the hats here. Let's get in there. Let's see some of the details. Okay, so this is a really cool site. If you've never heard of it, SimilarWeb, you can kind of see some data around the website. Let's go and look at their traffic. So they are getting 134,000 people visiting their website in Feb. In March, they did 152, and in April, they did 120. So that's pretty good traffic. I mean, for a resume app that has a very specific purpose, I think that's pretty good. We think about the pricing. We can kind of calculate how much money they make. So let's try to guess how much they're making. I'll do sheets.new. And what you can do is basically traffic times conversion rate, price, or AOV, right? So traffic, we know it's about 100,000. What's the conversion rate? Let's say really conservative, it's 0.05%. That's like less than 1%. It could be more, but I like to do conservative numbers. If I multiply all these together, I get what their monthly revenue is. Sorry, not 0.05%, 0.5%. That's what I wanted. 0.5%. $49,500. And hopefully that helps you kind of see like, okay, it's very simple because it doesn't have a monthly subscription or anything like that. You can kind of back into how much money that this business makes. You can do this for lots of other websites. And it also can be helpful if you're trying to launch something. Okay, if I price something at $2 a month, then I need to have this much traffic to make this much amount of money. This is kind of a helpful heuristic to be able to see how much money a business makes. Let's do the reveal. So, and ready? I want you to guess right now. And we're going to reveal, dun, 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 $20,000 a month. So my guess was $50,000. Obviously, I had already seen what that number was. But also considering we did this interview in March of this year, we were just looking at the April numbers. So we were a little off there. But I think I was reading this here and they said they're doing 30 a month in March. So maybe they've grown slightly, or maybe my assumptions are wrong. But I think that they're generally a good way to look at things. I think that conversion rate, I don't want to get too much in the numbers because I don't know so much about this business, but I think that's like a decent way of looking at things. One thing that I thought was cool about this business before I moved to the next one that I saw on his site was he has more AI job tools. So we look at Sheets resume and then I see AI resume builder, AI cover letter maker, AI mock interview builder, AI job board. This is super smart. The guy who started this used to be a recruiter. I was reading his case study there, which, by the way, shameless plug, you should join Starter Story to read these case studies to see what makes successful businesses. But he was a recruiter. He was giving people free advice on resumes. He was helping people with resumes all the time. He turned that into a business. He had this specialized knowledge about resumes. I don't know anything about resumes, but he knew a lot about resumes. And that's one of the reasons why I think this business was successful. So I want you, if you're watching this, think about what is that thing that you know a lot about? What are you super specialized in? Could be something at work, could be something you are really passionate about, a hobby that you have. This is more important than watching this video and finding a bunch of like ideas that you're not passionate about, right? That is the big thing. Because then what he can do is he knows that customer so well, he can go to more AI job tools and then he can launch the AI mock interview builder. I see what this is. I don't know if he's charging money for this or maybe it's just a quick test thing. I don't know. He's also got an AI job board and he's doing a bunch of different things kind of in the space of jobs, job interviews, and that sort of stuff. So I think that's really cool. And I really wanted to mention that. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go back to our awesome database and look for some more stuff. But before we go into that, I just want to ask you, if you like this, please like and subscribe this video. It helps the algorithm to show you more content like this. We really work hard at finding this data and putting it all in one place for you so you can easily watch this while you're enjoying your lunch or whatever you're doing out there. Thank you for watching. If you want to build something like this, and I think that actually that the Sheets resume is a great little kind of first business idea to build it. You could build this with AI tools. So if you are curious about that, go to the link that I put in the description and you can see there's this button here that says build this. You can click that. This is the new thing we've been working on at Starter Story, which is called Starter Story Build. With AI, you can build anything. We have what's called boot camps, where in 12 days, you'll go in with an idea. Could be like the Sheets resume idea or some of the other ideas that you see here in this video, and you build it. So you get to learn a bunch of AI tools, Lovable, Supabase, Cursor, all these cool tools. And we have a whole syllabus. You come up with the idea, you start building it, you build the landing page, you set up auth, you do all these cool things. And after 12 days, you come out the other side with a real app, a real shipped app. And look, that app may not be the thing that makes you a millionaire, but it'll teach you the skill on how to build and ship apps that get users. And you can do that over and over. That skill is life-changing. I just wanted to shill the Starter Story product for a second. I'm really, really excited about this and all the cool stuff that people have been building in the boot camps in Starter Story Build. So if you want to check that out, the link is in the description. Okay, let's keep going. The next one is, let's just go to the next one right here. This is Cuppa AI. Let's go check this one out. Let's talk about this app. And I don't know too much about it, but I have kind of heard about them a little bit. And I think it's kind of cool what they're building. Let's just go check out their website and see what it does. So Cuppa AI, revolutionize your business with AI-powered content marketing. Unlimited words, unlimited generations. So I watched this here, and I don't want to watch a video right now. Let's see what they do. This looks like a AI content writer tool. And I think that's kind of cool because I've seen a lot of these recently. I just recently saw one that was like crushing it, making like $1 million or something like that. It wasn't this one, but I think this is really cool. Basically what it does is it allows you to upload your knowledge bases and your whole brand persona into one place, and then it'll generate like 1,000 articles for you. These articles will rank on SEO, and it looks like it actually plugs into like your CMS. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about the type of customer that this serves. Unlike the previous business, this serves a more specific customer. It's not just people looking for a job. This is for people that run blogs, websites, or online businesses. This is generally more so targeting businesses, but it does feel like it's a little bit more in the small business angle. And I'm not really seeing, one thing I think is interesting about this, it's not too specific about businesses, which I think is actually quite interesting and may play into how much money this business is making. So it just says revolutionize your business, revolutionize your agency. It's very broad in terms of the type of customer that it serves. At least I get that vibe from it, but it may be different behind the scenes. Let's talk about the pricing model. So we're going to go to the pricing on this one. And it looks like they have different plans here, but it's just really kind of confusing. Let's go, show me their pricing. So again, I'm going to do my Control F on the pricing. Show me the whole pricing. Here we go. So they have monthly, and this is $25 a month and $60 a month for the popular. So most people will go for the popular one. Usually businesses will highlight the one that they want most people to buy. And that's usually in the middle. And that's how they kind of, jigger around their pricing. So $60 a month. And let's take a look at what their traffic is, which is what we always do, right? So let's go back to SimilarWeb. We're going to put Cuppa AI. In this business, they're killing me here. I got to go to Safari and plug this in. Okay, we're going to go look at Cuppa AI. These guys are doing, show me the traffic. Here we go. These guys are doing 65,000 and 13,000. It went down a little bit there, but let's just take the middle of those and let's say 40,000 a month. Okay, this is going to be for our last one. So this was for the Sheets resume. Let's also go over Cuppa. So Cuppa has, we said 40,000. That was kind of the mid tier. What is the conversion rate on something like Cuppa? I would say maybe, again, I kind of would go with that 0.5%. I do think that's probably maybe a little higher. Maybe we do 0.75. Again, this is very, very, very rough numbers. And what their average per user is 60. So let's do that same math there. And they are doing 8. So this is important too, is that they're adding 18,000 in MRR potentially every month. That is important to also say that those customers come back monthly, but also they churn as well. So that doesn't mean that they're doing $18,000 a month. That means that they're adding $18,000 a month to their MRR. All right, so time for the reveal. Let's see if you can guess how much money you think this business is making per month. Dun, 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 dun. $30,000 a month. Okay, interesting. So this interview with the founders was done on October 31st. So late last year. So I'm guessing they have grown a bit. Our guess was, you can kind of see here, they actually have this nice screenshot here. In October 23, they had just started. They were making 0, and now they're doing 30,000 MRR. So those obviously numbers are, I was saying that they added 18,000 in MRR per month. That was probably very off, but also there's a lot of churn. What do I think about this business? I think this business is cool because, one thing that I think the premise of why people think AI apps are stupid, they basically say, well, you can just do this with ChatGPT, right? So if I go to ChatGPT and say, hey, write me an article about vibe coding. Okay, I got to write the article here. Then I got to get pretty good at prompting. I have to write 100 articles. I have to do this in 100 different ChatGPT chats. Then I have to copy it and put it into my CMS. The premise behind this app is kind of that you can do 100 articles in the same time you could do one article in ChatGPT. Some people might see this and say, oh, okay, well, I'll just use ChatGPT to do this. Why do I need Cuppa AI? But as it kind of showed there in that here is that it does a couple of things. It pulls your knowledge base. So now it has all your saved stuff. So now it's like creating articles based on stuff that you've already documented. It creates 5 cents per 1,000 words. So just boom, does a bunch of articles. And then it's all integrated directly into WordPress. So instead of me having to go drag it into WordPress and do all these things, I just click a button and it's published. So that's why I think it's kind of the premise of this business. I think it's a cool business. I think you could potentially do this even for like more niche. So you could go down to like, hey, we're the Cuppa AI for plumbers, and we create a bunch of plumbing content. So I think that's cool. Okay, let's go to the last one here. And we are going to go to the next one again. This is Aithor, and we're going to check out this one here. So this is one of our breakdowns in Starter Story. Let's go check out what this app does. And we're going to go to Aithor. Okay, this is cool. This is an AI-powered research assistant. Analyze the theme of revenge in Shakespeare's ethical considerations in obtaining informed consent. This seems like some sort of like something I would use if I was like doing my master's program or something like that. This is an AI writing assistant, so kind of like an AI writing tool for people that are doing heavy research. Auto citation in your style, write smarter with AI tools, text personalizer. So I can scroll through here, make an outline with the AI writing assistant, create. So basically it's writing your papers for you, but it's doing it for a specific niche, which is people that maybe are writing like academic research papers or something like that. That's the vibe that I get there. If I search AI, that's another thing that I do is like I'll search the actual thing and see what they try to rank for. So Aithor, first of all, I want to actually search for that. I always like to look at what do they put on their title and description of the meta tags. So AI writing assistants, research and writing tool. Aithor is a supportive tool that can suggest ideas and improve clarity, but you remain full control. So research, that's the big word there that I think is interesting, is that this is for researchers. I'm not a researcher, so I don't know too much about this, but I think that's actually pretty smart. So the type of customer that this serves is maybe someone that's writing their master's thesis, or they're writing a paper in college or high school, and they want to do citations because you have to do that. What was the name of that again? It's like MLA, citation style. There's the APA and the MLA. We always had to do the MLA one in high school. Okay, going on a tangent here. Let's talk about the pricing model in this one. So first of all, I think this is cool because it's very niche down. So in the previous business we looked at, it wasn't niche. It was just, hey, all businesses can use this, which isn't a bad thing, but I really kind of like to see a business that's super niche like this and also capitalizing on AI. That combination is really, really deadly, I think, where there's not a lot of great tools out. AI is so new that you can go and build, AI for freaking, coffee drinkers. And all of a sudden there's a business there. That's what AI changed because it's so new. But let's go check out the pricing. Cheaper than I thought. This is $12 a month. I mean, if you go to the monthly, it's $35 a month. That also tells you that their churn is very high. You write a paper, you cancel, and then you maybe buy it again. So their annually is $12.99, but I'm guessing that most people go for the quarterly or the monthly. Holy smokes. 1,490 people subscribe today. Don't wait. I'm guessing that is not all people paying for it. But also, that is a crazy number right there. 1,500 customers in a single day. I'm guessing that's the last 24 hours. But wow, okay. Let's take a look at the traffic. I got a feeling this might be a big one. So we're going to go to our similar web, which they have been blocking us, but that's okay. It's Weeball. Okay. Aithor.com. That's the one. This business is doing 1.4 million in traffic per month. 1.2, 1.4, 1.2. So about 1.3. And let's see where their traffic is coming from. Organic search, 62%. That many people are searching for it? Whoa. The keyword AI is searched 43,000 times per month. That tells me that maybe they're doing a bunch of TikTok or something like that, or they just have crazy word of mouth. This is an impressive business. And this is, I think, going to be the big daddy. So, well, let's do our little calculation. Again, this is Aithor. Again, this is 1.2 million, let's say 1.3 million, and 1,400 people. So I'm guessing that the conversion rate on this, I'm saying it's going to be at 7.75 again, because I just don't think it can be so crazy. And then the average price, I would say, is somewhere around 20, because they have different ways of charging people per month. And that is where that's making money. So that's adding 195,000 in MRR every month. They're going to have high churn, but that is an impressive number. That is an order of magnitude bigger than the last one. That is really impressive. Go read their case study and see a little bit more about how they got traffic. I mean, I would kind of go here and look at how they grew the business. And immediately I'm seeing it here. They're working with influencers on TikTok, Instagram, and Reels. So I'll let you guys go and read that case study to see how they grew. That is probably a startup masterclass right there. Let's do the reveal now. How much do we think this business is making? Dun, 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 dun. $1 million a month. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. It just goes to show you the power of the niche. And I think that would be my biggest takeaway from this one right here is that it's a deadly combo. AI plus niche. And the one we looked at before, Cuppa AI, that one wasn't as niche. And I don't want to say that's bad because I think what they're building awesome is $30,000 a month is amazing, but $1 million a month with a niche writing tool, that's really, really impressive. You know, how many people are in college? How many people are in their master's degrees? Every single one of those has to write papers. We all had to write papers growing up, right? So it's a huge TAM, huge market. I've seen a lot of AI writing tools crushing it, quietly crushing it like this. This is really, really impressive numbers. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's a bunch more ideas in the GPT Wrappers database. We are adding new ones to this every single day. You can go read the case studies. You can go click build this. If you want to build something similar, it's possible to build all these with AI tools, which is even cooler, I think. So my theme and takeaway from all this is that, you know, people can talk about how AI wrappers are useless, they're garbage, whatever. But the three businesses that we showed today solved real problems for real customers. Help me get a job, help me write more content for my SEO, and help me write my paper because writing papers sucks. I hated writing papers. These are AI wrappers, but they solve a clear problem. And clearly people are willing to pay for it. We looked at the real data around these businesses. And that's what we do at Starter Story. We show you the real data, the real fresh boots on the ground business ideas. We don't sell you some sort of business model or some BS like that. This is the real deal. So join Starter Story, check this out, check out all of our data. Good luck building. Let's go ship stuff. Turn this video off, open up that AI vibe coding tool and get to work. Let's ship, baby. Let's go. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.